Good morning, everybody. Orange J here with another Sword of Convallaria video, and big news dropping today on the Sword of Convallaria X page, formerly known and forever in my heart known as Twitter. Anyway, Sword of Convallaria dropping some big news today with the next Get Together banner being an increased chance to summon Anana and Xavier. And I want to say two things with the release of this banner. Number one, a lot of people are going to be pulling for Anana, and number two, a whole lot of people are going to get their hearts broken when they pull Xavier instead. The reason I say that is this: here is that tier list so often shared since the release of this game on global, and if you notice, up here in the top tier for watchers is Anana. There she is, and I agree 100%. I'm going to talk about why she's so great here in just a minute, and then I'm going to flip that on its head, and there's Xavier down here in the bottom tier of the breaker category. And the breaker category really seems to be a type of unit in this game that once we get access to August and Homa will become good. But now we have Rawia, the character we all get for free, which is nice, but she's in tier 2 on this list. Right, she's almost bottom tier, and Xavier's apparently not even as good as her. Now, I don't have Xavier yet, so I have no firsthand experience there, but I will go through his kit. I'll show him off on the, the test server. We'll go through what he can do. I do want to start, though, by just talking about how great Anana is. If you are thinking about pulling for her and you get her, you will not be disappointed. This girl is absolutely broken, and one of the reasons she's absolutely broken, which I'll have to get my face off the screen to show you, is her trait is absolutely insane. Now, at rank 1, at only 1 star, she's just going to heal one ally for 20% of her magic attack after every turn. She has a bunch of other healing built into her kit, but every turn, no matter what she does, she will be popping some healing. Rank 3, 3 stars, star level 3, is where she really starts to shine, because she's giving 2 allies with the lowest HP percentage, so your 2 allies that need it the most, that heal for 20% of her magic attack. She's also giving both of them one random level 2 buff for 2 turns. So she's constantly buffing, she's constantly keeping your allies topped up. This is a character that I pulled for very early in this game, and I have had her in my star shard collecting quest every single day since then. I'm almost to 4 stars. I don't know that I need to. I honestly might stop at 4 and not take it to 5, but she's good enough that I might just take her straight to 5. In fact, right now, of all the characters that I have, I'm doing Gloria every day, I'm doing Anana every day, and I've added Coco to my everyday rotation. I think those are about the 3 best characters that I have, up there with Beryl. Simone is really good too. Those are the 3 that I'm focused on the most. So she's that good. And I think most people at this point don't need me to really break down what she does. Her best move is Princess's Prayer, which gives another turn to an ally. This is useful in every game mode. Really, the only place where Anana does not shine is in autoplay. She's terrible at that. She's terrible at that. You can tweak her skills to be a little bit more friendly for the auto AI and all of that, but my God, does she love to cast this buff and all of her other stuff on her summoned ally, which will be the worst of your allies that you have on the field. So that feels bad. But if you're playing her on manual, abusable, absolutely abusable character, and someone who a lot of people are building teams around. She's got AoE healing, she's got single target healing, she's got buffs, she's got ways to keep your team alive, and she can give somebody an extra turn. That's Anana in a nutshell. So if you're going for her, good choice. Now, let's talk about Xavier and see if, just by looking at his kit, we can tell if he's really as bad as people are saying. There's my voice cracking again, as I'm only 93% of the way back healthy. But let's go look at Xavier real quick. And here he is. Now, I gotta say, character design wise, I really like the way he looks. Young dude, clearly decked out in the armor, carrying the axe. So aesthetically, he's an aesthetically pleasing character. But his low tier list ranking is definitely based more on his kit than it is that. Now, Xavier's trait is solo carry, which I don't know that he'll be doing based on his tier list performance. But for every enemy within range of 2 tiles around Xavier, his attack increases by 4% up to 16. At the start or end of the turn, if there are enemies within a 1-tile radius around him, he deals an additional 30% physical damage. Like, that's a big damage boost in theory, and a pretty good trait for Xavier. Okay, that's nice. What about his rank 1 skill and his basic attack? His basic attack is just slash, 100% damage, so normal, and then sweeping bash is his level 1 skill. It's an 80% small AoE damage to a 3x2 area with a defense down 1 lasting for 2 turns. Okay, nothing special there. He's an axe character that can drop some debuffs. Now, let's climb through his skill tree. I've honestly not looked at these before right now, so I'm going to give you, this is like my first impressions of Xavier, at least in theory. So rank 1, you get access to Risky Move or Combat Frenzy. Now, Combat Frenzy, after dealing damage on the character's turn, you get 20% lifesteal. Risky Move is physical attack increased by 20%, but defenses go down by 15. This is definitely a weak area for him. I don't like either of these. I think I would take Combat Frenzy just to gain that like lifesteal, because he's probably going to be doing damage on most turns. This could help him sustain himself, maybe in like autoplay or something like that, but nothing real overpowered there at rank 1. Then at rank 3, you have the option between Legacy of Comrades or Chaotic Battle. Now, let's start with Legacy of Comrades, because this is a very generic one. When an ally in battle is defeated, recover 30% HP for the character, and the character gains attack 2, physical defense 2, magic defense 2. I used to think this resurrected an ally. Now I know this is a buff for old Xavier. It's a big buff, but it requires an ally to die. If you're playing with Anana, you're going to trigger this quite a bit, because like her soldier has a way of just, you know, dying a lot. So that's fine, and this is a nice buff to have on. There's other ways to get these buffs, including if you have Anana, her just randomly giving you these because they're like rank 2 buffs, which she could just hand out anyway. Then the one that you're probably meant to take though is Chaotic Battle. A big AoE based around him, 70% damage to all enemies within 2 tiles, generating 40% lifesteal and inflicting no healing received. Or 50% less healing received for 2 turns. A decent AoE move, right? And probably one that you'll stick on your kit and be using to try and like, you know, eliminate a bunch of trash mobs or something like that. But most characters in this game can eliminate trash mobs. Now, at rank 5, you get your reaction ability. You choose between Indomitable Spirit or Strength Activation. Strength Activation increases your healing received by 10%. This is a character that does a bunch of lifesteal, so you can clearly see they're going in a direction with his kit right here to be like lifestealing. My light, like I figured out it's not my light that turns off all the time. It's my like USB hub thing. I need to get a new one of those. Either way, this increases your healing received by 10%, so his self-healing will be better. And when receiving healing, he'll gain damage 2 for 1 turn, which will basically be all the time. So he's going to pretty much constantly have a 20% damage buff if you're running Strength Activation as his reaction ability. Now, Indomitable Spirit is for each enemy within 2 tiles before being attacked, decrease the incoming damage by 10% up to 40. This is really good. Like for a reaction ability, this will always trigger. There's no chance for this to trigger or anything like that. You're just going to take up to 40% less damage if you're being melee attacked, or at least close to a bunch of enemies. If you're close to nobody and getting hit from range, it's useless. So both of these are decent. I wouldn't say any of them are like overpowered, but both decent, and you won't have a problem proccing Strength Activation if that's what you take. Now, he does have Battle Flag of Iria. This is the worst one, right? There's the better version, doesn't just give the attack and defense. So he has the like subpar, the normal version of Battle Flag of Iria. Or you take Spear of Iria, which at the start of the round fully recovers energy and gains speed 3 for 2 turns. All effects have a cooldown of 5 turns. So every time every 5 turns, wow, that was hard to say, you gain speed 3, which is 150 speed, which is huge, but gonna make you go first or something for 2 turns. So this will allow you to act early. It's good, and there's definitely situations where you'd want this, but you can't pick and choose when you use it. And you already have a commander ability that you can essentially use to like give you an early turn if you need it. So I can see why that's not considered, like his rank 7 isn't considered really strong. Whereas for some characters, their rank 7 is like everything. So okay, rank 9. our auto attack replacement. You can have charged attack, which is 100% physical damage and increases the damage of your next skill by 15%. I use this on some characters. Or feverish attack, which is 100% physical damage and you gain 20% lifesteal with it. So more lifesteal or a power up. Both are fine. He seems to have a lot of lifesteal in his kit, obviously. I do like this one, but for this to be good, he must have some like BA, like bad ace attack that you like, okay, I'm going to charge this up right before I use my ultimate move, and then my ultimate move is going to do 15% more damage. Let's go. So what is his rank 11? Does he get an ultimate move? Okay, you choose between Musuo and Falling Comet Dash. Okay, Falling Comet Dash sounds really OP. Let's see what it does. So, nice big AoE. Xavier selects one spot within a cross-shaped range around him, charges to the location, deals 90% damage to enemies in the area, and inflicts speed 2 for 2 turns. So more speed manipulation right here. Speed -2 is 100%, or not 100%. My God, that would turn them off. It's a 100 speed decrease for the enemy. This is okay. It doesn't hit particularly hard. It is a big AoE, and the speed debuff is useful. Or you could take Musuo, which is a much smaller AoE, right? Just a directional line. Like it's a line in a direction. Sure, let's go with that. He does 110% damage, so it's at least a more than 100% damage attack to all enemies in that area, knocks them back 2 tiles. After attacking, he gains parry and preempt for 2 turns. Now, parry is before receiving an attack. You face the attacker and add 20% of your physical attack to your physical defense. So you just take less damage from physical attacks. Preempt will turn immediately before being attacked by enemies from the front or side, dealing damage to the attacker. So like a preemptive counterattack thing here, right? So that's pretty good, but he does lack some like insane ability. Remember when we were talking about Anana, and I'm not on my account right here, so this is the test server account. I haven't even built out Anana right here. Anana does have access to abilities like Princess's Prayer, which are just broken, like game-changingly broken. And Xavier just seems like a really, really good NPC with lifesteal, right? I don't know, maybe that's the way I describe him. I think he looks awesome. Like aesthetically, super pleasing, but if you pull Xavier instead of Anana, like if your goal, that was the wrong button. Anyway, if your goal is to pull Anana and you get Xavier, I don't think your account gets more powerful, and that would feel really bad. So it's a really tricky banner that's coming out here. I think a lot of people will go for it, and I hope a lot of those people, especially people who like don't spend a bunch of money on the game or are free to play and have been saving up a bunch of gems but really want Anana, this is probably your best chance to get her. Hope you don't land an Xavier. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.